even with this sweet potato crisp, there's not a whole lot of ingredients in this. We've got our crisp part, which is butter and oatmeal and brown sugar and flour and cinnamon. Yes? No? The cinnamon goes, no, the cinnamon goes with the sweet potatoes. Okay. And some nuts. So I'm going to put that in. I did take the liberty of cooking the sweet potatoes. I did this I cut this particular recipe, I cut them in cubes and just put them in a pot and boiled them until they were soft. So they're pretty soft, so we can get them. I only have one plug, so we'll get them started in a minute. But they're all cooked here. I did cook the ones for the soup. I did microwave them, but we'll concentrate on the crisp first. Okay, so we've got our half a cup of oatmeal, our half a cup of brown sugar, our half a cup of flour, very simple, and 3 tablespoons of butter. And that's all we need, yes. And we need this. Okay. So there's our crisp. We're going to put that in a bowl. This looks like appliance night here. I'm going to use our food processor. All right, now, since we've emptied that out, we're going to put our, well, there we go, our cranberries and our apples. So we'll drop our cranberries in there. And for the apples, these are Gala apples. They happen to be, we used the Honeycrisp last week. These are the Gala. They happen to be on sale this week for, I believe they're 99 cents a pound. We don't have to make these apples real small, or I like to, since we're chopping up cranberries and apples in the same food processor, you don't want to throw this in whole like this. It won't crunch down to the size that you need, or if it does, you're going to have soup with the cranberries. So we kind of make them not quite the same size, but along those lines. And I'll save these. Okay. There was one night we had a lot of garbage for Joey and he wasn't here. Okay. We don't want to make that too fine, so be careful with your food processor because you don't want to have a liquid mess. All right, so there's our cranberries and apples. We've got our crisp. Now we can do our, let me move this over, change places here. Change plugs. All right. Now we're going to put our sweet potatoes, which, like I said, peeled them, cut them, put them in a pot, boiled them just like you would regular potatoes. And our cream cheese. And like I said, it even comes in the same package as the Food Club. So we're going to plop that in. Looks the same. All right. Put this in and our cinnamon. We've got our oven on. And we're going to put our pecans in here. So dump those in there. Put our cinnamon in here. Kind of mix that up to a Those are really pretty color too. Now in any of these, I believe you could use the canned sweet potatoes. In one of the recipes I did choose that. So if you don't want to go to the trouble of cutting the sweet potatoes or baking them or whatever, you can just get the canned, it's, what is it, whole canned, this, cut yams, which are actually not yams, but sweet potatoes. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Now here's our baking dish, and I am going to spray that. See, it's a pretty color. So we're thinking orange for Halloween and Thanksgiving and UT and whatever. Well, that's a good question. There's about 2.5 cups of potatoes. And each of these, when I said in the recipes, oh, here they are, hiding. Okay, on this one, on the crisp, I did use 4 medium sweet potatoes. The other ones where we go to pounds, about, you know, the sweet potatoes, I didn't choose the real big ones, but the ones were about like that. It was about 1 pound. You know, you have to kind of weigh them out if you need to, but I did use, you know, what they called in the pound, what I called for in the poundage, which kind of translated to about 1 pound of sweet potato. All right, spread this on the bottom. And again, you see that in this one, we're not using really any sugar in this part. All right. And we're going to
Cranberries raw like that, or do you have to cook cranberries?
No, we're gonna, can you eat them raw? You can, but they're bitter. So if you were going to,
I never knew how to use fresh cranberries.
yeah, you know, something like this, if you put a little sugar in this, would be good. It may be all right with the apples with it, but just sitting down with a bag of cranberries, you wouldn't be very happy.
Okay.
It might squelch your appetite a little bit if you did that. But okay, then we're going to put our cranberry and apple mixture on the top. I have to do everything hands-on. Okay, we'll just mix this a little bit. Okay, and there is our crisp. We'll stick that in the oven and let that bake. Okay, and we'll have that for our dessert. Okay.